I have a tiny problem. I want to make a HO scale model of my car. Oh, that's not my car. That's my car. Hello YouTubes, welcome back to ScotRails. I'm Dave. Well, this is a 1936 Chevy Master Deluxe Coupe, and as you can imagine, it's impossible to find parts for this vehicle. It's even impossibler to find a scale model of it. It's just not happening. Now, also with the tiny problem is, my wife, she's getting into this model railway hobby, at least more in the scenic aspect. She bought this Dairy Queen grill and chill drive-in restaurant with the intention of turning it into a Tim Hortons, because we're in Canada and we like Timmy's. Now, it was easy enough to do that. I'll show you that at the end of the video, how that turned out. But the problem she had was finding the signage for Tim Hortons. You could just print it out in paper, but the actual sign is more of a three-dimensional thing. So we have solved the problem, both with her signage and my scale model car, and that is a 3D resin printer. It looks like this. This is the Anycubic Mono 4K 3D resin printer. This is a curing station. It's a cleaning and curing station. You don't desperately need this, but it saves a lot of hassle. Now, so far, the first thing you do is you have a test print, which looks like this, which is extremely intricate. And my son managed to break it. It's supposed to sit in a little base, but hey, we're new to this. And then we went straight ahead and started printing our own stuff. My wife printed this, which is what I was talking about at the start of the video, the signage for the Tim Hortons drive-in restaurant, which looks awesome. And she's actually got that painted and the little signs on the building itself. I'll show you that at the end of the video. I then decided to print one of these, which is a track ballasting tool. So you can get a wee sliding drawer to shut off the ballast so you don't pour it everywhere. It's not the biggest. I could probably make a bigger one because I'm not going to be able to ballast much track with that amount of ballast at a time. But hey, first go, pretty impressive. And then I progressed on to something a wee bit more elaborate, which is just phenomenal. The detail in this is just brilliant. Now, you should actually kind of sand down any tiny little nubs, but this was just a test for me, so I'll probably just leave it as is. Just maybe give it some white paint. So, before I show you what my wife did, which is absolutely amazing, it's going to look brilliant on the layout, let me show you the process that I do now. Now that the print is finished, we do have to clean it and cure it. So we went with the water wash resin instead of the isopropyl alcohol resin. Basically that means that I can wash my my objects with water instead of alcohol, which makes it a bit more user friendly. But don't get me wrong, this stuff is still really toxic. Make sure you wear gloves and a mask. At least for this stage. Remove that now. If you do get any on your hands, make sure you wash really, really quickly with water, because that's very, very nasty. Although, so far I've not had that incident, but I hear it's quite acidic and it will burn you. So we now have the whole assembly in the wash. Because it's such small parts, I don't want to scrape them off that base plate first, because they'll get lost in the fan. So let me show you what we set this to. First of all, we select wash, which is the top one. Then we select the time. We're going to go for a good 10 minutes on this wash, and then you press this in and it will start making whirry noises. It's kind of like a blender for 3D resin cleaning. Now we wait for 10 minutes. So what we're doing here is we're washing off any unused resin that has not attached itself and bonded itself to the object that we're making. And it kind of gets diluted into the water and it is relatively safe. What you would do is you would take this whole container outside in the sunlight and it will actually cure those little fragments that have been washed off, and then it's safe to dispose of. You cannot pour this down the sink. Right, we're almost finished. Once it's done, it will make like 3 beeps or something, and then we can remove it and dry it off. Always a good idea to have plenty of kitchen towel handy. Even though it's pretty much just water now, you just don't want it to make a mess. Okay, let's see what these things look like. Now they're going to look a bit weird at first because there's little supports that get added to raise it above this base. Makes it a bit easier to get it off the base, and also you get a good oh, they look great. Now, I'll give you a bit of a close-up in a sec once I get it onto the kitchen towel. I am so happy with these. Look at that. Okay, so all these little things here are just little supports. That one, for example, is actually to make sure that the mirror stays in place, that tiny little mirror. Okay, we have to remove these from the plate. You need to use a scraper. And you need to be kind of careful, especially with tiny little objects like this. I think my wife has actually ordered some more delicate ones. That's fine if it falls off. One down. And I've actually printed 10 wheels because, you know, you need spares. And the reason I've done two cars is I'm going to do one as the car is at the moment, but I do intend to paint my car at some point, so that's why I've printed 2. And it's not because I thought that I would mess up the first one. Alright, once you get used to this, you just need to know how much pressure to put on these little things. And try not to put your finger in the way so you don't slice that. But they're well stuck on there. They've got to be stuck on hard because these things get printed upside down, pretty much hanging from this base. So obviously you don't want them falling into your bath of resin. Then you just get a big blobby mess. And we are off ski. We'll just give this a bit of a scrape, make it smooth, and then that can go back into the printer, ready for the next micro magic to happen. Lovely. So we need to let these air dry for a while. If you start curing while they are wet, you get little blotches on your prints. Even though you're going to be painting them, you want them as dry as possible. But so far, that is absolutely phenomenal. Right, I'll be back in 10 minutes or so when these are dry, and I'll put them in the curer. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break these all off of the supports, which is going to be really tricky. You see that bumper line there? All these bits underneath are supports, so I'll probably use a very fine snipper to get rid of these. Like that one, for example, was actually pulling off the mirror. I didn't really expect that mirror to stay intact. I can always glue it back on if I feel that it's that important. Okay, let me snip all this rubbish off and let it dry. All my wheels and my cars are now cleaned up and dry. Time for the final process, curing. We need to remove the water container. Put the lid on it so you don't slosh it about. Put that somewhere safe. Next step is quite important. You need to put a reflective, pretty much like a mirror, on this base here, so that it can reflect the UV light all over your image. Put the turntable on. Put all your little toys on. And all the wheels. And then the cover back on. The machine will not run without the cover on, because it's going to emit UV light and you don't want an accidental sunburn. I'm going to set the machine to cure. If you set it to wash, it will spin really fast and you'll destroy your toys. It doesn't take long. I am going to set it for 3 minutes. If you cure it for too long, they can actually turn brittle. So let's start with 3, test it, and see how it looks after that. Oh, I've got the cars going backwards. Let us see if they are cured. Oh yeah. Oh, possibly went a wee bit too far. They feel really hard. And if they go too hard, they go brittle. I think I just caught them in time. You know what, I'll put them in a little rotational thing and you can have a look for yourself. But I think they look great. Now, you may have noticed the bumpers didn't survive, neither did the mirrors, just far too small and intricate. But I think with a bit of paint, and maybe a wee bit more sanding down and then a bit of paint, then that's absolutely perfect. The wheels are a little bit too big. They were printed separately, or at least the image was processed separately, so I need to make the wheels a little bit bigger. I had to file them down to fit under the front fenders, which is not ideal because I want these to actually rotate. I need to make a little axle for the underside. You'll find out in a future video why I need to do that. Anyway, what I'll do now, I will take this down to what I've got so far on my layout, take my wife's Tim Hortons building and signs and put them all together and let you see how it all looks. Well, I couldn't be happier. Obviously, I need to paint my car. Although the one outside isn't painted, so I at least have to make it look bare metal. That could be harder than painting it. So I envisage many projects like that for this layout. This printer I got, as I say, it was the Anycubic Mono 4K 3D resin printer. 263 Canadian on Amazon. Obviously a bit more with tax, but USA, probably around about $200. And it's just phenomenal. It's relatively easy to use. I wouldn't say it's really easy, and it is pretty messy at first. We did have a couple of boo-boos, everyone does, but overall, quite simple for us older people to learn how to use it without too much hassle. You take the image off the internet, you put it in your printer, hit the go button, and you've got toys. So far, I've made the ballast spreader, I've made the car, we've made the signage. We've probably saved about $80 to $90 if we had to go out and buy those things. So we're halfway to making the money back in the printer already. So it's a no-brainer. I think you need it these days with this silly hobby. Talking of which, I better get on with this silly hobby. I've got a whole layout to build. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in that printer, I will provide a link down below to Amazon. It's an affiliate link, so I'll get a few pennies if you buy one through that link. Thanks very much, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.